Okay, so hello and welcome everyone to to a review here on Higher Plane Games, as much as a quick look. Today we are looking at uDraw Studio Instant Artist. Now on my fellow website Higher Plane Music, I done a review on this when it first came out, or around the Christmas where it first came out at least anyway. And I was not very complimentary of it at all. There are some really significant flaws in here that I don't like at all. Let's quickly sync it up. But behind it, it means well, and it is a good distraction from what else is going on out there in the world of gaming. So let me present to you the uDraw tablet. I hope this is coming out okay. Let me just double check. Okay. So, the uDraw tablet, in fact let me just come around and do it this way instead. There are several parts to the uDraw tablet. First off, you've got the main screen here. This is where you do all of your tabletry work. You've got your buttons over here for moving around, your symbol buttons over here, your syncing, and you sync via a USB thing. And then attached here you've got your stylus. Notice how short the cord is. This is one of two massive failings of this tool as a decent tool, is that you can't do much. If I want to go down to the corner, there's not much more before it all kind of falls apart. Now this stylus, if we look here, when you push down on it, it does have pressured, I don't know if you can really see that, but it's there is pressure that you can add to it, and the idea is that you use the stylus to draw around, and the harder you push, the more its things are going to come out, and so on and so forth. Sadly, it is not the case. Let's press X and get things loading. If I show you the stylus, now we're supposed to move around the main menu. Can you see that the little things come up? Now I'm moving around on the stylus. Now I'm pressing in really hard to make sure that that runs okay. If I just go across a little bit, nothing happens at all. You have to be pushing so hard, and even then it's struggling to know what's going on. My best advice to anyone that gets this, because it is now for about a tenner I think for this, is ignore the stylus, go with your finger. Look how much more smoother and easier and simpler it is to deal with. So much better. So what we're going to do, I'll take you a little bit of a tour around the game itself, because it does demonstrate pretty much what the peripheral is all about. We will start off with art play. Now you can always choose your canvases. You've got whiteboard, canvas, cardboard, chalkboard, concrete, construction paper, drawing, newsprint, variable watercolour. Let's do something on a wooden background, shall we? So here's my wooden background. Now remember that this tablet, whatever you're doing with it, this will always be up in the top corner. And can you see that the mouse is moving across? It's probably the worst one I've done for it. But there you go. If I select the black ink, I can then press and hold X and move stuff around with my mouse. And it is relatively in tune roughly with what I want to do. Select a different colour from my palette wheel. This is very cack-handed because I'm having to do it in front of the camera. And off and away I go again. So very simply, a drawing tablet. Over on the top, we have got my current tool. I have an airbrush. In fact, let me just swap back. Sorry, bear with me. Because this is probably the worst. You see, I'm highlighting a lot of the problems with this already. If I... Yeah, I'll exit the painting. If I take you back to white paper, I think it will be easier to show my mistake. Sorry. Okay. Canvas, that'll do. It's white. It's not brown. Okay. So I can draw quite happily. Now I've selected airbrush, we'll go for red. Airbrush quite happily. I can chalk. You see the difference there? In fact, if I use these to scroll in, there you go, you can really start to see the difference now. And because I'm zoomed in, that line is now going to be so much more thinner than the rest. We've got a pen. We have acrylic. We have the bucket fill. And we've got the rubber. So I've made a right mess over there. That is a very basic overview of your colour paints. You can bring up with triangle what's called the palette wheel, and you basically move your colour across here, and once you've found the colour you want you can stipulate even further by here, and this is one of the real big perks and send-ups of this, is that actually you can sit and build your own colour wheels. Oh, no, I'm still in So yeah, so you've got that over there. Over here we have a medium menu. So if I fancy bringing up crayon instead, I can do that. If I fancy changing my stroke of what I'm doing, see how much bigger that is going to be? That's brought up with square. We've also got marker. So that really does ruin everything. What else have we got over here? We've got sponge. Can you see? The more you rub in on the sponge, the better it gets. Otherwise, you can just do single dabs, just like what you do when you're at primary school, doing various bits and bobs. So making a nice colourful mess. We've got watercolours. So let's go new painting. Get rid of that. Show you what else there is. So here we go with watercolours again. Now I quite like that green, so we are going to attempt to draw a bit of a face. How crude. Okay, so we've done that with watercolours. What have we got next? Calligraphy. Quite fancy. A little bit of yellow. For this one. So that will do me. Because I'm using a calligraphy pen. That's working. Now can you see actually that it's slightly I can change the thickness by the left and rights on here, so that's looking lovely. This is Picasso in the making, this is. Hello. Okay, so that's that. What's next on the list? Finger point. Okay, right. So I have wonderful blue eyes. Look, no mess. Fair enough. So yeah. Okay. What's next up? Splatter. Awesome. Okay, we've not. Oh, let's have a horribly garish. Oh, excellent. Ah, the longer you hold it in, the bigger the splat. Excellent. Or you can just go around in a big old circle and let go. That's quite impressive. I like that. Bucket fill, eraser, eyedropper. Okay. So yeah, so those are the different kind of things you've got. Over here you've got different palette wheels that you can choose. The end ones are custom ones, so if you've got specific colours that you'd like to make on colour wheels, you've got them there, but they do kind of keep you going. So if you want to go for something that is an ocean colour, then therefore you've got all the ocean colours there for you to use. That's quite a good little step tool. Here are stamps. You can make your own stamps if you want to. The buttons then rotate where you want the stamp to go. And you kind of hit in where you want them, so that works for that. And the rest of it is kind of spinning things around and, I don't know, making things look beautiful. Then once you're done, you go into the options and then you can save, you can replace, you can go back to old stuff like an undo button, which is great, or you can just save the painting. You can also, now that I've just thought of it, export it, and that exports it to worldofudraw.com. I don't think anyone will be particularly impressed with that, but it's there. Now you can also put on a grid. I've got a silver trophy for that. Oh yeah. You can also put up a grid as well, which helps you kind of keep things nice and simple as well. But that is the main point of uDraw, is that you can sit there and get all kinds of different things up and build your own things. Relatively limited as to how far you go. You have to have a lot of patience, I think, and a very steady finger, because the stylus is cack. Aside from that though, you've also got Art Camp, and I've actually found most of the time that I've spent on uDraw has actually been here. You've got colouring books that you can muck about with, do different things that you can do. So if I fancied that one. So it still gives you everything that's on here, but actually if you wanted to be as lazy as possible, you just go to the filler. I'll give her horrific red hair and a lovely red skirt and a wonderful blue blazer. Gorgeous yellow hat. But it does then still give you, say if I quite fancied splatting a bit, wrong turn of phrase. It's a huge splat. Come on. But yeah, save. It still lets you do it. This is half of my problem with uDraw, is the responsivity of it is a bit of a drama. But no, so that is that. If you want to have something that's got a little bit more of an aim to it though, you do also have painting by numbers, which is called number paint on this one. Looks incredibly sporty. Looks like but there you can see all the colours are on one side and they're numbered, as are the numbers on the screen. So if I start off with number 14, because that's got two great big blobs there. That's great. 15. 15, Simon. And we've got 16 in for a few. And yeah, you slowly start to building everything around you, I suppose. This appears to be very black. This one? But at least you can see it is coming together. With a satisfying splash every time that you put something in. That's kind of how that works, at least anyway. However, things get more exciting. Oh yes. I'm sorry if my camera view isn't the best. You can do dot to dot drawing as well, which is impossible. Alien Splat is a limited but fun enough game. I'll just quickly take you through a level of it. You just have to splat aliens as you move things around. You slowly build up your splat meter on the side until the boss comes out, and basically with each level different aliens appear, and some of them they can then start to fire things. You can't use your thumb on the stylus, by the way. It doesn't understand it because it's too fat. You have to use a finger, and it's a fingertip. If I now try this with the stylus, like how it says, doesn't work. Oh, sorry, I'm well out of the picture there, but can you see? And I've got it as hard as I can, and it doesn't understand it at all. It's a real shame. Yet magically, Fingaroos! So yeah, so that is Finger Splat. However, I have saved the best till last, and that is Tilt Maze. This is the one big thing that I love about this game, because it's the only good thing. This does have 6-axis motion in it. No, I didn't know until I got to this. But basically, you've got to tilt your ball around the maze to get it to the exit whilst rolling over all the paint. It can't run out of paint whilst the ball is in motion. Now, if they had just sold it as like a weird Super Monkey Ball paint-a-thon, I would have yummed this up. Oh. Starting to think too much about trying to keep in camera, but it's relatively good at. But it's no worse than the 6-axis controller, or better rather, but it's not a move controller, but it does the job fine. As soon as you run out of paint, it's game over. There's 40 mazes. They get trickier as they get along because after maze 10, I think it is, they start to add holes in. Ooh, I knew that. You can repaint yourself. The maze is designed so that you go off on a tangent and then you basically will then run out of paint before you get to the next bit. But yeah, this is, for me personally, this is the bit that is the most fun about uDraw. I'll do another couple. All the mazes always are on one screen as well, in case you were wondering. I would happily have this on its own as a PSN game. I'm easily pleased. Hope I'm still in camera for you to be able to see and adjust all of this. So yeah, I want to quit. Next up, you've also got tilt colouring as well. A challenge. Okay, the idea is that you keep going round to the next point bubble basically without running out of paint, which is quite hard to do on the first level. Level 2 though I think starts to introduce holes. There you go, you can see the first hole has appeared. If you fall into the said hole, it is game over. I'm now struggling to... There you go, the longer you're in, the more the holes will appear. Sadly, it doesn't matter how much of the paint box you fill up with paint. That could have been like an added challenge. again, it's one of those things where I'm having more fun with this. It's a bit like a Mercury game, isn't it? Oh, am I going to run out of... There we go, down the hole, out. And that's basically how that one works. The last thing that you've got is something called Art School, which is where it teaches you how to do various different things. So if I say I wanted to sketch a tomato, in theory it will tell me how.
In this lesson, I'll show you how to create a round and juicy looking tomato with simple lines and washes. I'll start you off with the crayon.
Okay.
Start by drawing the beginning of a circle. Sketch over and over the line as you go to make it darker.
Why is it now not responding? Is this because I have to use the stylus by any chance? See how... Struggle! And yet with finger...
Start by drawing the beginning of a circle. Sketch over and over the line as you go to make it darker.
Okay. Ah, okay, right. That'll do, mate. Look at my lovely tomato. Anyway. It won't let you move on, obviously, until you've done it. But there you go. Yet more proof this stylus is utter tosh. Finger rules the world. That is essentially everything then for uDraw. Instant Art Studio. There is the box. I think you can pick it up now for about a tenner, if not a little bit less. There are only 2 other games that I know of on the PlayStation 3. I've got both that use this. So remember now that when you are investing in this, and obviously THQ not looking in good shape themselves at the moment, it's going to be something that you're going to be very limited in use of outside of this game. Pictionary is the other one, and there's a Marvel's like Mini Heroes game as well, which I've got but yet to play. So yeah, that is essentially it. Happy doodlings! Thanks for watching.